Facebook Live versus YouTube Live. When do we use one? When do we use the other? Do we use them both? And what are the pros and cons of each? So let's dig into that topic a little bit today. And we're going to start by talking about Facebook and where you can go live on Facebook. So let's take a look at the slide here. So on Facebook, okay, you can, let me try a button here. There we go. You can go live. Hang on. Hold on. I forgot. We made the graphics a certain way. You can go live in a few different areas. Okay, you can go live from your desktop using a webcam. In fact, I am live on my desktop right now. Of course, I'm using a DSLR camera and sort of like a Camlink 4K. Although, truth be told, I'm not actually using a Camlink 4K. I'm plugged directly into my computer, but that gets really techie. Okay, so I want to just get a Camlink 4K. It'll cost you a lot less than the computer cost me. Okay, Jim Richardson, good to see you. But on Facebook, you can also go live from mobile. Now, mobile will work best on Facebook, I think, as a portrait style video. And portrait is, this way, right? But you can go this way as well on Facebook, which I think is sort of a neat advantage for you. On Facebook, you can also go live in groups. And in groups, I think, is the most limited, okay? Because it's really hard to access the view counts and the exposure. In fact, I think they intentionally limit that. You can also go live on your pages, right? On a business page. It's going to be incredibly difficult to get reach in that respect, okay? And then you can also go live on your profile. And this, I think, is where you're going to get the most play right now, but it's the most dangerous because as we heard, was it Brendan earlier who said your mom and your sister is watching? Absolutely. Hey, super chat, $5. Thank you so much, Brendan. That is so kind of you. We love it, by the way. And please, everybody, give more of your money. No, I'm kidding. I'm teasing. You can give super chats on YouTube, which is another reason we love YouTube Live, but we'll get to that in a second. Here's the thing. If you're building a brand, you're going to probably want the ability to do things that only a business page can do. So if you go live on your profile, it's probably a good idea to start directing people over to your page where you can start live streaming more regularly. Now, I used to live stream from my page on a regular, I guess I still do on a regular basis. But as it was heard earlier, Facebook has changed a lot, man. We used to get just thousands and thousands of views. In fact, I did a show with Scott Ayers when the show was over. It was an hour-long show. 5,000 views, 5,300 views on the video. It's a huge show. It was a massive show. That doesn't happen anymore. That is way gone. And I feel like that's really makes me mad. The wrong sound effect entirely. That was totally wrong. But we're going to get it right. Hopefully you guys can hear that. Otherwise, I'm playing. So Carlos is hey, no one can hear the sound effects. So just so you guys know, I've been playing inappropriate sound effects and then making jokes about them. And so if you're what the heck is this guy talking about? You would be right. Now, let's bring it back to Facebook because Facebook used to have a feature called watch parties. And with watch parties, you were able to sort of rebroadcast it multiple times. So that's what we used to do. We used to do this thing where we would go live on my page, start a watch party on my profile, start a watch party in my group, and start a watch party in other places. And we would get lots and lots of views from lots of different places. That is no longer, watch parties are gone. So that's that. Maybe we'll see him again. Who knows? Facebook stuff kind of comes and goes, but it decreased our ability to get views. So let's talk a little bit about YouTube and where YouTube you can go live. So YouTube you can go live from desktop as well. And the YouTube desktop, Bradley teaches, my man, desktop version on YouTube is far superior than Facebook's YouTube. All right. On Facebook, you can't toggle between screen share and camera. And that's a basic to me. So you can either screen share but you can't do both. Okay. Now on YouTube, you can go live from your mobile device once you get 1,000 subscribers. Now, here's the catch 22. You want to get 1,000 subscribers on YouTube? Go live on YouTube. I'm not saying go live like every single show, right? I'm saying do your YouTube thing, 5 to 7 minute pre-recorded videos, high quality. And then on the, Friday, you go live and you do like a Q&A. We're going to talk about like the best things that do well and when they do them. James Pruitt, by the way, everybody, James Pruitt just hit 100 subscribers on his YouTube channel. So a big whoop sound effect. Applause to you, my friend. We're glad to see that. Lily Tree is saying no more watch parties. Yeah, it's been a while, but it just quietly got removed, and they removed it like one step at a time, right? Like, you guys know they just switched over to this new theme. The new theme doesn't have it anywhere. But on the old theme, it slowly would disappear from certain places. So I was able to do it for a while. But then it just kind of stopped. Okay. So you do need 1,000 subscribers to get mobile access to live streaming on YouTube. And I think that that's really, really effective. I think that there's a lot of value in going live with your audience on YouTube and then just unlisting it. If you need to unlist it, there's a lot of value in that. So on YouTube Live, you can go live on a channel page. Okay. You can go live privately, which has almost zero value, but we do test a lot with private YouTube streams because it gives us a look at how long it takes to get to YouTube, and we still get to see the live chat. I think it says chat disabled. Point is, we still get to see how long it takes, what the sound quality is, what the video quality is, but nobody has to see it, and it doesn't affect our watch time. You can go obviously public on YouTube, and then you can go unlisted. Okay. I'll get to that comment in 1 second, Scott. Unlisted is really, really awesome because YouTube has an advantage that I think that Facebook doesn't really have, and it's the ability to embed your live stream. Okay, so with YouTube, you could actually be hosting webinars, summits, and conferences in unlisted YouTube embeds on your website or even on Medium or, even on Facebook. I bet you guys didn't know you could post a YouTube live unlisted link in your Facebook group, mark it as an announcement. So it's the first thing people see. And then email your list and say, hey, I'm live on Facebook right now. Go to my group, right? Or, hey, webinar tomorrow at 3, right? And then you give them a link to the Facebook group. They're in Facebook. They click on that announcement's there, and it's a YouTube live that they can be watching on Facebook. What are some downsides to that? YouTube will read the analytics as unknowns. So you won't get any analytic data, male, female, age, but you will get like watch time. It'll be like, 40 people from an unknown source watched for an average of this much time or whatever. So you'll get the watch time and the views and all that kind of stuff. But you won't get some of the, I don't know, like they won't, the next time that person logs in to YouTube, they won't see you, because it never registered in their phone. Now, if they open the app from the phone, then yes, that can happen, but only the most savvy people are going to do that. Okay. So that's kind of rare. So are you guys with me on that? Questions, thoughts? Like, these are the values and the benefits of going live. I personally think that they both have huge, huge advantages. And we're going to talk about some of those advantages next, but I'll tell you the big thing is that on Facebook, you have multiple different places to go live, pages, profile, and groups, all of them serving different purposes. YouTube, you get one choice, but is that one choice better than all the other Facebook choices? That's what I want to dig into, and then I want to go to some of your questions. So let's talk about phase 2, developing an audience, okay? Yeah, it's my brother. It's Arza. Right on, brother. It's good to have you here. And I'm glad that you're watching in class. We're finally, we are the school that the new generation is attending, and it's the video marketing school. So let's talk about developing an audience, because that's, after all, what we're really trying to do. Now, I think what I'd like to do is go back to some of the comments so we can hear from you guys. And the comments will populate, over here on the side in just a minute. Takes a minute for it to kind of warm up, but I'd love to hear from you guys and know what you're saying. When we talk about building an audience, Okay, what we're talking about is developing a group of like-minded people who gather together around your content. That's really the meat and potatoes of what we're talking about here. And I think that building an audience is the part that everyone forgets about, because we focus on views and live viewers and watch time and leads and these different things. But there's real value in looking at, like, who is your audience? Like, what makes up your audience? You know, if you could develop an audience that's 50% female to male and entrepreneurial and chiropractors, wow, strong audience. Are you with me? Why? Because they all gather around your content. They're all chiropractors of it doesn't matter the sex or gender of the person. It's equal. So all you have to do is make content for them and they will come. It's an if you build it, they will come kind of scenario. Now, of course, it's not that easy. You do have to kind of like promote it and all that kind of stuff. So here's the thing, is that Facebook has 1 billion people on it at all times. And all of those people have different needs. So even though it's not hard to develop an audience on Facebook, because everyone is on Facebook and people will get an alert and some of your core audience will join, but other audience is going to rotate in and out. And so what happens with that is you get your mom and your cousins logging in, and that's not a bad thing. My brother's logging in. Now, that being said, my brother's sort of in the game. You know what I'm saying? So I am gonna put the wig back on for Scott Ayers' sake, because Scott's just like crushing in these comments. I'm not going to leave it on forever because it's loony, but I'm doing this as an homage to you, Scott, for all your comments today. You know, Facebook, you're going to develop core audience, but you're also going to get a lot of like looky-loos and tire kickers. That's okay. I think what you need to do is develop content around that, so that you're getting people who are not normal, regular audience members, like family members and whatnot, to actually share the content while they're here. And what we used to do was like streamer of the week, or like we would recognize somebody from the audience. And then, hey, if you want to get recognized or know somebody who should join us, tag them in the comment section below. Okay. Dandy Soap says, Owen, your school needs to offer a PayPal option. Can you make that happen for you, my friend? Absolutely. Therese, can you reach out to Dandy Soap DIY and make sure that they get into the program that they're dying to get into? Thanks for the question. Let's keep moving here and screenshot this and it will go viral. Yeah, you know, but stuff like that, like, you know, everybody screenshot this, that type of thing can help your show get more enhanced reach. Now, YouTube is where you're going to develop more of an audience. And earlier I said, look, is that one YouTube channel better than all 3 of your Facebook channels? And my answer is yes. My answer is yes. And Krister Bovin mentioned it earlier in the show, is that YouTube, the replay will live on, Simba. You know what I mean? Like the replay, the video will get life on the YouTube replay from search traffic, but also just from the algorithm traffic. Right? Like right now we're live on YouTube. And for all of you watching us on YouTube, Air 5. You know, there are lots of other people on YouTube right now scrolling through stuff that YouTube has identified as my audience that they're going to show this video to. So we want to have a show for them as well. And that is the type of audience you just can't get on Facebook. So you have to remember this mentality. I want to share something with you that I hope these slides fit. I want to move on to something else. I'm going to come back to this. I want to focus on this right now. Okay. And I'm going to go, can I go full screen? No, I need to keep it half screen. Are you in a mall or a movie theater? Think about the difference there. Think about walking into the mall and what you do there. You walk in and it's like, you know, it's 3 stories high, bright colors. Are you in a vibrant sort of shopping mood? Okay. Versus a movie theater. What's the movie theater like? All right, you're in more of a quiet mood. You're looking to settle in. Okay. This is the difference between the user on Facebook or YouTube. The audience member Okay. And if you're building audience, it's comprised of audience members. All right. This is big. So when I'm on Facebook, what am I going to do? Why am I going to Facebook? Well, I'll tell you right now. I'm going on Facebook to look at images of my grandkids. I'm going on Facebook to watch videos of viral things that I like. I'm going on Facebook to see funny posts from my cousin, right? Et cetera, et cetera. Lots of different media for lots of different reasons. In fact, I think most of the time we're kind of like, let me go see what's happening on Facebook. Is this true? Is that true for you guys? Like, let me know in the comment area. When you open up your phone and you're like, I'm going to go to Facebook, is it like, oh, I'm going to go to a group, and then after the group, you get caught in the news feed? Or is it like, I'm going to go see what's happening on Facebook. It's been 20 minutes. Maybe there's something funny there now, right? I'd love to hear from you in the chat area below what that's all about, because the viewer is very different. On Facebook, people are like in the mall. They're going to shop. They're going to buy a pretzel. They're going to look around. They're going to hang out with their friends. Let me see what catches my attention. So your live stream has to be able to pull them out of that like momentum they were in. Now, let's talk about YouTube. YouTube is very different. You can do one thing on YouTube. What is that? Watch videos. So when you go to YouTube, it's like you're in a movie scenario, movie theater scenario. It's like I'm gonna nestle in. I'm gonna nestle in. I'm getting Scott Ayers. You are full of compliments today. Thank you, my friend. Wow, we need some screenshots. Screenshots of this. Keep that up, baby. I love it. Yeah, that's going in the family album. Okay, so the ROS, by the way, is fantastic. Carlos, put a link up to that if anybody wants our ROS. So Facebook is like the mall, but here's the thing. YouTube's like a movie theater, and people are in there to chill out. They're in there to relax. They're going to watch some videos. So that's like a 20 to 30-minute commitment they've already psychologically made before they even opened up the platform, right? Chances are somebody watching YouTube is already sitting down. Whereas Facebook, I would be sort of like in line at the coffee shop or in line somewhere, you know, and it's just kind of like an everyday thing that happens. So you have to think about that as you're analyzing the different audiences on both and the type of audience you want to develop. Ours is saying Facebook is definitely the mall. I only go once a year. I know if I want to reach my brother, it's going to be like text, or probably in the YouTube comments, really. Now let's take a look at what, I love you guys talking about the ROS, because the ROS is absolutely critical. Let's take a look at this. Okay. This is a look at one of our more popular recent live stream videos on Facebook. And these are the analytics that Facebook gets us. Look at this. Peak live viewers on Facebook. Now, this is actually, hang on, because here's what you guys are saying. You're like, oh my gosh, this guy is only, why am I listening to Owen video? He's only getting 10 live viewers. No, we are using the world's greatest live broadcasting software called Restream. And you can get your free trial at owenvideo.com/Restream today. And I'm going to tell you why you should get them, because we can live stream in multiple different places. So when we go live on my Facebook page, my Facebook profile, and in my Facebook group all at the same time, plus on the Restream page and multiple other places. So we got 10 live viewers on one. But remember, I told you, Facebook used to be different. We used to get on our business page easily 50 viewers, easily, sometimes 80. Yeah. No, well, there were times we actually got 300. But those are like our biggest shows. But on average, we were getting like 50, right? On every show, we knew we were going to get 50 within the first 5 seconds, 10 seconds when people start logging in. That's a thing of the past. That's gone. But minutes viewed, 703. Then they break down the minutes views, like 1 minute view, 10-second views, and 3-second views. 1 minute views, 42. 42 people watch this for 1 minute. Okay. By the way, a total of like 500 people watched this. And this was like right after it was over. So like right after it was over, here are the stats. And then look at this one. Average video watch time, 116. All right. I hope you guys are seeing me or hearing me on this. Okay. So now let's take a look at the same exact video on YouTube. 25.1 hours of watch time with an average view duration of 728. 116 versus 728. So my question for you is this. Oh, was I not sharing my screen during all of that? Let me go back to that, guys. I want you to see that. Okay. This is what I want you to see. 116. 728 with 25 hours of watch time. Oh, Carlos already switched it. Good. This is major. This is a major thing. And this is exactly why you need to be very conscious in what platform you are using and why. Because I think YouTube is going to give you a strong audience. But I think Facebook is going to bring you the type of audience that you need to grow on YouTube. People are going to find you on Facebook. By the way, is Paul here? I want to know if Paul and Kathy Fitt are here, because Paul and Kathy Fitt are members of the Video Marketing School family. They're both in the program at the Video Marketing School, but they also show up for the live streams. And last week, I noticed that Paul wasn't here, and I wondered where he was. And then later on that day, he wrote me, he goes, "Hey, sorry I wasn't on the show today or at the show." And I said, you never have to apologize for taking care of your own life. Number two, we noticed you were gone, and I hope everything's cool. And he's like, yeah, I know, I'm fine. I had this other thing. So I want you guys to know that when you're part of the Video Marketing School family, you're part of the family. Okay, you got to ask yourself, are you in a mall or in a movie theater with your content, right? So, you know, with Kathy, for example, Kathy Fitt, she always finds me on Facebook and then will go watch me on YouTube. Oh, Owen's on YouTube right now, so I'll just pop into him. And that's kind of what you want. I think you want to be engaging your Facebook audience in order to get them on to your YouTube channel. Okay, now here's the thing. Do you guys want to know like what you should say and what you should sound like in your presentations? Because if you do, then I want you guys to download the perfect business video template. And this is how to create a perfect live stream show, how to create a perfect YouTube video. We call those two different things. And we use what's called an ROS. You see, we call it the Great Formula Script Writing Template. Well, that's called an ROS, a run of show template. And you can get this right now at owenvideo.com/greatvideo. That's owenvideo.com/greatvideo. And when you get that, I'm going to send you my perfect business video template that will help you to run your live stream shows and your Facebook shows like a boss and finally get the kind of attention you deserve, because you are an excellent live streamer and more people need to find out about your content. Okay, let's go to some of your comments right now. And Carlos, maybe you could help me with this because I think it's going to get a little bit crazy. We've got a very active, very passionate room today. I think Arza asked a great question. Arzer, sorry. Like, if you wanted to be anonymous on this show, like, just don't tell me your name. You know what I mean? Like, I'll wreck it for you. I'm giving people's names here. The live streams watch time. Yes, that's exactly what that is the live streams watch time. And it's an average, right? So, you know, some people come on for 10 minutes. Other people come on for 40 minutes, right? Some people come on for 5 seconds. And that's the reality of it. And you know what you're going to find is that your core audience, the audience you want, is they're going to be the ones watching for 40 minutes at a time. It's going to be all the tire kickers that come in, watch for 5 seconds, and leave that pull that average down. Okay, so that's something to think about there. And then, Carlos, can you find a few more questions and throw them up for me? So, Arzier's asking, does that count towards monetization? All right, on YouTube, your videos can be monetized after 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time. So I would say this. I'm thinking most of you are probably not there yet. If you're not there yet, great, you know, because these watch time minutes will add up and accumulate towards your monetization goal. So, for example, that video that we saw had 25 hours of watch time. 25 times 60 is 1,500. Okay. 1,500 minus 4,000, I would only need 2,500 more minutes. So 2 live streams like that, and I've reached my watch time monetization goal. So yes, if you're a gaming channel, go live with a game. Okay. And get people watching for an hour. I think it'll work out for you. Okay. Larry Cozen is saying, can you stream to a YouTube channel and a Facebook public profile at the same time? You absolutely can. And that's what we're going to talk about next is when should you use them both? When should you Restream? Because it's no surprise to you guys that this show is sponsored by Restream. And well, we have a time to go live on Facebook and there's a time to go live on YouTube. There is a time to go live on both. And for us, that's Monday at 12 p.m. And you can subscribe to the show when you type 5. That's right. Type 5 into the comment section now to follow us on both those networks. So yeah, you do want to stream both. And there's a good opportunity for that. But here's the thing. When you do that, you need to make sure that you have like one main call to action. And that one main call to action should probably be something like, hey, be sure to watch me on Facebook or watch me, like wherever you want to gather people. You should always have that call to action and like recognize that you're multi-streaming, right? So don't ever like hide it. Like say I'm multi-streaming. Okay. Let's Talk Stroke is saying, as I use Restream and go live on my show, Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch, should I also include my personal page? Okay. The first thing I want to say, Jerry, is getting the verbiage right? So no one has a personal page. I think you mean a personal profile. And I know that's what you mean, but it's helpful if we all use the right language so that we can always get to the right answers. And this is where it gets really specific. So yes, your personal profile. I do think you should go live there because you have a stroke show. And so my guess is that you met a lot of people in the stroke community. And my guess is that you have caretakers on your page too, your profile, excuse me. So it would be a good idea for you to let them know that you're live streaming. And then I think your main call to action should be something like, be sure to follow Jerry Wald on Facebook and YouTube, right? So that if you're watching on YouTube, you can follow. If you're watching on Facebook, you can follow. All right. So I do think you should include your personal page. Now, if you are just like a regular kind of like, I don't know. I mean, I hate to say that term, but like if your Facebook page is comprised of people that don't have anything to do with your business for the most part, aside from maybe a few chamber friends, then I would keep it on your business page and I would make it exclusive, meaning like it's on your Facebook page and it's on your YouTube channel, and that's it. And so you drive people through opt-ins and traffic and advertisements to those places, right? I think that the temptation is like, oh, I'm going to go live on my page, my profile, my group, and blah, 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 blah. What that does is it kind of devalues your content. That's actually something I'm learning from Scott Ayers. Scott Ayers doesn't put his stuff everywhere. It's like he puts it in one specific place or 2 or 3, but drives everybody there. But it's not like 6, 7 places. Okay. This stream is different. This stream goes everywhere. Okay. All right. Any more questions? Dandy Soap DIY is saying, should you set up a scheduled event in advance? Yes. All the time, always. Like, again, this goes into purpose, right? You guys want to learn something cool, the P3 content strategy, right? Purple. Owen, slow down. Will you slow down a little bit? Guys, will you breathe with me? I'm going to have some of my bulletproof coffee. I'm all keto today. So I'm like full of energy and life. I had a 2.9 keto rating today. Anybody know what that means? 2.9. So I'm like way into keto. Set up a scheduled event in advance. Yes, always, all the time, so that you have something to promote. Okay. Platform, people, and purpose, right? That is the P3 content strategy. So know the platform you're on and use those events to your advantage. So for this show, we actually changed the thumbnail on YouTube so that we don't have duplicate content. Similarly, we also trimmed this show on my channel just a little bit so it's not duplicate content. You see, we have a plan to maximize our reach on these platforms. And I think that you should move on past that. Meaning that move on, have the exact spot that you're going to. Ed Weinberg is asking, is going live on your personal page better than doing it on your business page and sharing it to your personal page? Yeah, sharing on Facebook is nada, right? It's like no bueno, okay? And that's French for not a very smart thing to do, okay? And I think that, you know, if you're gonna share, then you should just restream it. In fact, I think we should all say that. I think we should all say restream it, because that's what Restream does better than anybody else, right? Is restream all your stuff, right? So I think you should just restream it. Don't even share it. Like, no, don't share it, because it's like Ed Weinberg shared a thing, blah blah blah. It doesn't look amazing. If we use Restream and mention YouTube on Facebook, will Facebook decrease our watch even more? Okay, great question. I did a whole video about this. I was going to mention this. There are times when I just go live on Facebook in portrait mode on my profile for business reasons. It's to engage the people on that page and let them know that I'm doing stuff on YouTube. There's a time and a place for that. In fact, I did a mobile live stream like that where I was kind of teaching the audience that what we're noticing, okay, this is not fact. A lot of people, you make an observation, they want to like pin it down to you. Oh, show me evidence. You know, show me evidence you were born, pal. You know, I thought I was the evidence that I was born. You know, no, it's different. It's a whole different thing. Okay. Oh, I love it. I love it, James. You're cracking me up. I'll have to come back to that. Where was I? What was I talking about? My wife didn't even know. I got thrown off. We've noticed that on Facebook, if you mention YouTube, they will decrease the reach of the video. If you put a YouTube link in the video, they will decrease the reach. Okay. So I say things like RedTube or BlankTube, and we're testing it. So far, I haven't been able to do that without accidentally saying YouTube a billion times. So we haven't done it. James is asking if I remember to put a mask on my coffee mug. I did a video on my TikTok channel that had about coffee masks, because I was walking through church and I'm like, you know what? I'm not worried about me as much as I'm worried about this coffee. You know, it's like, what good is my mask if my coffee's wide open? Okay, so let's kind of move away from questions now. We'll come back, guys. If you have more questions, please ask them in the comments section below, because I want to talk about when should you restream your content and when should you not. And to get into this, I want to go back to maybe something a little more full screen and talk about when should you restream. First of all, I want you to know that Restream gives you some powerful analytics. And as soon as we're done with this show, they'll send us the analytics. It'll be here within moments of streaming, and it will tell us like our average view time, maximum minutes watched, you know, our peak views. And here's a look at that graph and our watch time and who's logging in and who's logging out. And we can actually see like big dips here. And so we're like, okay, what was that? And like, how do we is there things that we could do in between there to make that better? And these different types of things. So I love the analytics. And, you know, Restream has a great track record for some great shows. This is a look at Scott Ayers' show. And I got to tell you, it's one of my favorite backdrops in the industry. I love the skeleton behind him. It's so labby. And this is why we have the orange hair, because we're all a part of this, you know. And then look at how he's got a question of the day here. He's got his logo up here. I think it's very, very powerful. Another good friend of ours is Stephanie Liu, and she has a show called Digital Confetti on the Restream channel. And look at her great looking overlay here, like with these digital kind of graphics here. And she's got her set back here, which looks, you know, really, pretty sweet. And she does a different type of show. Like it's a different kind of show. And this is a different kind of show too. Look at Randy and Brandon and how their backdrops are kind of simple, but they have this digital backdrop back here. And Restream allows you to take a boring set and really make it look something exciting. So if you've ever been in this place where you're like, oh, my set really is terrible, you know, Restream is a great opportunity for you to like spice that up and make that look really exciting. Now, here's one of my favorite live streamers, Nick, David, Brian, and Daniel Batal. Now, Daniel's going to be a guest on the show next week. This guy's a live stream mastermind, also fantastic at YouTube and making tutorials. Look at this set back here, though. Look at David's set. Look at how he's got the lights and all. You can't even tell what it is. It just looks cool. You know, it looks really cool. Same thing over here with Brian. He's got these sort of bead light LED lights behind him, and I'm sure he's going to do a lot more. I know he just moved into this area, so he's kind of tweaking it. Nick, of course, is a mastermind. He's built this set from scratch. So you can do all of this stuff. You can have multiple guests with Restream as well. Here's another one of my clients. They do a show in their overalls, and it's a fantastic show. This is them eating some of the food that they cooked. This is, of course, Rob El Sabah. So we've got lots of examples of when to use Restream. But the big thing I want to promote to you is that if you want to make your show look fantastic and you don't have a lot of graphic design talent or whatever the case might be, then Restream has a lot of those graphics for you. And we've actually made a whole studio of graphics that you can use and upload to your Restream channel right now. So this is an example of what Restream looks like inside the broadcast studio. And you get this with even a free trial. Over here is your overlay section. Check out this. Check this section out. Over in the overlay section, I can upload images that make my live stream look a little bit more dynamic. So there's a plus sign down here. And when I click on that plus sign, I can upload these pre-made lower third graphics. And as soon as I upload them to my show, bam, I get a great looking lower third like this. Or I can make it blue and have it look something like this. In fact, I can even show it and hide it based on this little button right there. Now, if you want to get a set of these graphics, you can get them right now. We have made these for you, and they're made to use in Restream. But I'll tell you a secret. You can use these in any of the softwares out there. And it's also available in PSD format. All you got to do is go to the website that's on your screen right now. Carlos, can we put that up? The website is owenvideo.com/free graphics. Go to owenvideo.com/free graphics, and we will send you a whole bunch. Actually, all of these lower thirds, along with the PSD file. So whether you have Photoshop or Canva or something else, maybe you only have a mobile phone editor, you'll be able to access and use these free lower thirds in all of your future live streams. So when we talk about, okay, well, when should we stream our content? I think the big thing that I want to communicate is when you want to have a higher quality stream, that's a good opportunity to use Restream, okay? But I also want you to think about how your stream looks to the public, and that's the last point that we're going to go into today, okay? Because the different platforms, Facebook and YouTube, have different streaming qualities. Okay, so for example, on Facebook, the quality of your live stream is severely downgraded. Now, how many of you guys are watching on Facebook? How many of you guys are watching on YouTube? Let me know in the chat area. Some of you might be watching on LinkedIn. Some of you might be watching on Periscope. Okay, that's going to be a rarity, right? Not many people watch us on Periscope, and I think Periscope's being shut down, kind of as it should be. You know what I mean? Sort of a terrible platform, if you ask me. But I digress. And if you're watching us on Periscope, Chris Strub, it's nice to have you here because he's the only one that does. So, look, I could be streaming in 4K, but on Facebook, it's going to be downgraded to 1080. And even beyond that, it's probably going to be more like 720. And the reason that they do that is accessibility. Okay, so let's say that I'm in the subway or at the mall, you know, and I'm watching Facebook video and your video comes in my feed. Facebook wants that video to play right away. No buffering. How do you do that? You lower the quality. Okay. So we get less buffering on Facebook. In fact, rarely any buffering unless you have a naturally bad internet signal. Rarely any buffering, but you've really got to consider your gear here, okay? And the quality of the stuff that you're working with. Now let's talk about YouTube. On YouTube, the quality is not downgraded. Okay, you can stream in 4K, which means you can get a pretty crystal clear picture. Trouble is, it's very hard to go live in 4K on YouTube and then live in 4K on Facebook and let Facebook downgrade that, because it's kind of like, yeah, Renee, good to have you here. No, LinkedIn's great. Like, we want to be bigger on LinkedIn. But when you put 4K onto Facebook, it's like putting a basketball through a water hose, and it makes it even harder for Facebook to process it. So usually what you got to do is you've got to go live in one quality, which is going to be a downgraded quality, and let the software, like, you want to go into the platform in the way that the platform can accept you. Okay. So that's something I think that you've really got to consider there. All right, let's see. Any questions on that? Now, that being said, right, now that that's sort of, let's see if we can move these back out of the way. Let me kind of talk about the 4K and the quality thing. It matters. Okay, it matters. And here's the thing. You don't need crystal clear 4K quality every single time, but what you do need is the best quality you're capable of providing every time. That, I think, is key, right? So if you have a webcam and a plug-in microphone, go live in 1080 all the time, and really master that. And then as you continue to grow, you might want to try some things like, oh, I'm going to go in 4K on YouTube, and then I'll restream on Fridays. Okay. Now, that's why we suggest using Restream as well. Larry goes in Owen therapy. I get it. And now the sounds of a beached whale. I'm actually trying to get my wife to laugh. She's standing right here. By the way, that's a whale joke from Jim Gaffigan. If you guys got it, ask me your questions, guys, and I will tell you no lies. Lead with Jim, my good buddy, is saying, if I share a restream on Wednesday, how do I reshare the post if it's been a few days? My question is, why, Jim? Right? So if you do a video on Wednesday, like, why are you sharing it again on Friday? To remind people, look at me, you know? Like, I would say, who do you want to see it? And tag them in the comments and be like, hey, Aunt Sally, I thought you might really like this video, right? That's going to be more, I think, more effective for you. The other part of that is, like, it's really easy to share, and we have to kind of avoid the easy route, right? So it might be more effective for you to actually download or screen record. And I know you use Camtasia, screen record a clip and then re-edit that into a square video. Okay. So that's something to think about. Okay. I am helping organize a teach-in event. The group hosting it has a Facebook page and a YouTube page, but I don't think they're ready to get a premium yet. Which platform should they use? Are you on One Frog Night? Are you using Restream? Because if you're using Restream, I would say go live on them all. Okay. And the fact that you're helping organize it, you really should be a part of our community, because you are the type of person, like the videographer type, you're producing stuff. Like, we want to know you. Like, you're the type of person we want to pour into. So, you know, I think that you could put yourself in a place where you could charge per platform, right? And you could say, hey, look, we'll live stream your event, any event you want to do, for $2,000. I'm just throwing out prices. But for an additional $250, we'll add Facebook, your Facebook group, your Facebook page, you know, and so on and so forth, right? Because when you do that, you're increasing what value you bring to the table. Now, even so, even if you don't charge like extra, it's still bonus. Say, hey, if you sign up today and if you agree today, we'll throw in 4 extra platforms. We'll go live on your YouTube page, your Facebook page, you know, and all that kind of stuff. All right. So something to think about there. Maurice Ball is saying, should you do live on YouTube, then set up a recorded live on Facebook? Look, I don't like the idea of I'm pretending to be live. I don't like that idea. So philosophically, I disagree with it. My clients, however, do that, and they're very successful with it. So it's not an end-all be-all answer. My question is, again, why, Maurice? Like, why do you want to do that? So I would go live on YouTube and on Facebook at the same time. If you guys don't know, here's the thing. If you don't know because you haven't been consistently streaming, then you should be multi-streaming and figuring out where you get the most bang for your buck. That's it. Like, that's just the long and the short of it. Okay. So that's something I want you guys to think about. Dandy Soap DIY is saying, when should you stream? What time of day, evening? There are two best times to go live. Number one is when your audience is online. And number two is when you're able to. That's it. So if you know when your audience is online, and if you're serving the business community, then it's going to be 9 to 5. We're all online, social media, 9 to 5. You pick the time in that time zone that's best for you, right? Because it's not like it used to be, guys. It's not like it was 10 years ago. Oh, do you have a Facebook page? Oh, yeah, I got a Facebook page. You got a Facebook page? Me too. I have a Facebook page. It's not like that. Every damn person has a Facebook page. We're all on Facebook every 20 minutes. Don't believe me? Go watch The Social Dilemma, which, by the way, was a crap movie. It was a bunch of garbage, okay? But it doesn't mean the premise wasn't true. The premise was true. Their solution was garbage. And I'll talk about, if you guys want to do that for an episode, I would love to do that with you. Why that was a horrible show. But if you serve the mom and dad, the parent, the consumer community, it's going to be like after dinner-ish or the weekends, you know? So if you don't know, go live when you can and see what kind of audience you can build. So like pick four, pick a time and then go live in that time slot 4 times. Do you get the same amount of viewers or growth every time? Right? Then try a different time. Now I'm going to try Saturday mornings at 10. What did you get? You know? And then that's 8 weeks you've just gone live. Now compare the two. Which one was better for you? I'm not sure. All right, let me try Wednesdays at 3. Do that 4 times. Now compare all 3 of those numbers. Now you should know. Is it like weekday, evening, morning, or is it weekends? I don't think weekend nights are going to do much other than, I would say it's open time. It's like open time. Have fun with it. You know what I mean? All right, what do we got? Renee on LinkedIn, my man, is saying, I share content from job sites on my cell phone. Can I go live with just self-service? You absolutely can. Are we talking about Facebook or YouTube here? You absolutely can, and you should. I think all of you guys should go live, on sort of a regular basis and find your thing. You know what I mean? Like for me, I'm really good. Like portrait. Just like, hey, what's up, everybody? And I was like, why did I stop doing that? Oh yeah, because I thought I got all, my ego, essentially. You know what I mean? Oh, I'm too good for that. Like I'm too busy. No way. No way. Screw that. That's selfish. You know what I mean? Like there are people there that need to know how to use video. There are people whose businesses are crumbling and my information can maybe help them. So if I got time to go live, I should. Do I sacrifice my family and my health and my well-being for it? No, of course not. Not a hustle culture guy. Okay. But if you can do more, do more. And I think it's a good idea to test. By the way, I love that content, Renee, on sharing content. You should find Cassandra Thompson, my good friend, and maybe collab with her a little bit. She does job site stuff as well on YouTube. Very, very popular. Okay, Marilyn Monroe. We didn't start the fire. Is Restream good for Instagram? No, Restream does not go to Instagram. But if you do want an Instagram hack, check out Lula TV. Lula.tv. They are an app where you can go live from your mobile device onto Instagram. Excuse me. From a DSLR device onto Instagram. It's phenomenal. So I highly recommend it. Okay, any other questions? Owen Video, the show critic. It stinks. I am making a ton of 90s references today, guys. I hope you don't mind the 90s references. It must be fresh. It must be fresh in my brain. So let's review a couple things today. First of all, you guys go. Carlos, get some lower thirds ready. Guys, go get your free trial of Restream. Go to owenvideo.com/Restream and get your trial today. Even if you're using something else, try Restream. Give it a shot for a week. In fact, I would love to hear from you. If you guys are having a great time with Restream, send me a screenshot. Send me a loom. Send me a portrait video like, oh, and I'm using Restream and I really love it. I will put you on this show. Similarly, If you're using Restream and you're having an issue and you're stuck, send me a video of it. I will answer your question on video and give you shout outs on this show. In fact, I really love that. I really love that. So go get Restream and be a part of the show with me. Send me your tips. Send me what you love. Send me your questions, and we'll dig into that. So go get Restream. Now, if you want some free graphics to make your Restream show look really good, then get my free graphics. owenvideo.com/free graphics. Go to that page and get some of my free graphics. Okay. And then finally, if you want to get my live stream scripts, I'm going to put that back up on screen. Then go to owenvideo.com/great video. owenvideo.com/great video. And I'm guessing I'm waiting for Carlos to type it because we didn't discuss this one earlier. Oh my goodness gracious. owenvideo.com/great video. And we'll send you my, there it is right there. You'll send you my download template. Okay. So guys, check that out. Those are the 3 big offers we're making today. And we'll be back next week to talk about even more. But I thought I saw, do we have another question, Carlos, that we could maybe answer before we hang up? How can you stream via Restream with a mobile device using audio from a mixer? You know, again, I would ask why you need to do that. Like, there's plenty of great mobile phone microphones. Maybe you want to use sound effects. And, you know, that question is highly technical. It's a whole episode because you need an iPhone adapter, and then you need an adapter for your, it's a TRRS adapter. Okay. Go get that, plug it into your mixer. And then how do you use Restream? Start the Restream on desktop, invite yourself via mobile, bada bing, bada bam, you're done. Okay. So that's kind of like a big question, but that's the legit answer. Can Restream do more than one Facebook page? Yeah. You know, like right now we're streaming on 2 Facebook pages and in multiple groups and in a variety of different places on Facebook. Okay. But that being said, we have 44 live viewers. I think we peaked at like 60. So again, you know, there's pluses and minuses to it. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a demonstrated audience, or it's not a concentrated audience, right? But that's okay. That's what we're trying to do, right? We want to get a big audience for this show. Is it what you want for every show? That's the question you got to ask yourself. Okay. I didn't know people pretended to go live on platforms. I'm not. I purchased from your recommendation, and I like it. I use it for church, YouTube Live. Yeah, Ray MacArthur. I love to see that kind of stuff. I'm taking a picture of it. I'm going to put that in my marketing. Guys, great to be with you today. I can't wait to be with you again. We've got to get out of here. There's another show that's starting right after us. I'm Owen Video, and we'll see you next week on